We're here in room 3 with Miss Lori. Now, fun fact about Miss Lori. She's our longest standing teacher. She's been here since the 70s. She taught for 10 years, took some time off to have her children, and came back once her daughter was in kindergarten. Her children have gone through our school and they are alumni of our school as well. So Lori has been part of this community for many, many years. And she's a wonderful, wonderful teacher. Lori, tell us about the children in your class.
My children are the youngest 3-year-olds. Their birthdays, they turn 3 in the fall, and this is their first school experience.
It is. There's lots of challenges with that, but tell us about the joys of this particular class.
They are so cute and adorable to begin with for all of us, and sometimes they're shy, but they're very curious and so excited to learn.
They are. What do you miss the most about not being here with them?
I miss seeing them and watching them grow and interact with all the things at school, and I miss their presence and talking to them.
You know, and what I miss seeing is how at the beginning they just were so shy and afraid, and then as the year went on they were friends and they played together and they enjoyed each other and they loved on each other, and I just miss seeing that.
That's true. I know.
I know. Well, let's look at their work.
Okay. In the beginning of the year, we were going to use all different kinds of art supplies. So I showed you crayons, markers, paint brushes, dot paints, sponges, and this is what you could do. You could scribble, make some circles, some movements, some wavy things. This is coloring with tempera paint with primary colors with a big brush, and these are the dot paints. It was fun to experiment with all these things. After using regular paint, I gave you watercolors to paint with. You were so surprised. You had to use a smaller brush with your fingers and use your pincher fingers and hold it tighter, strengthening your hand and your muscles. So you took the watercolors, any ones you wanted, free expression, and colored the paper any way you wanted with the paint. If you liked blue, if you liked brown, if you wanted black, orange, green, yellow, red, whatever color you wanted. Here is some more of your work. Everybody got a turn to watercolor, and you really liked it. And it was a lighter color, not as bright as the regular paint. It was so exciting to see you grow and learn. In the beginning of the year, this is what a lot of us did, a lot of you did. You scribbled, you made circles, you made waves like we talked about. This was done in the beginning of the year. This was done before we left. And now Delaney could make a circle, make some wave here. She could make eyes, a nose, and part of a mouth. So much growth. Talia was so excited when we did winter and snowman. She made a snowman. She said, I made a snowman with a head and a middle and a body with completed circles. Amazing growth. In the beginning of the school year in fall, we started to have a color of the month and a shape of the month. And the first month was the color yellow, and our shape was a round circle. What you got to do was to do circle printing. So you used Legos and you dipped it in paint, which was really funny to do with a Lego, and dip it on your circle, and you made little tiny circles all over the place. That was a lot of fun. The next color was orange, and the shape of the month was a square. So after you finger painted with your fingers and felt that wonderful paint, we cut all of yours out into a pumpkin and put it on the door. So cute. Then, because the color of the orange, we used different colors of paint that had squares on it. You painted a square with squares, with big squares and medium squares and little squares, any way you wanted to. That was a lot of fun. We got to talk about farm animals. Oh, what a blast you had talking about the names, what the animals were, what their sounds were. And when we were all done, I gave you a red barn and you put straw in it and put the animals where you wanted. And that cute little baby chick up there and all of them, and took it home so you could show your families about the farm. In November, the color was brown, and you got to make a handprint turkey. My fingers make his feathers, my thumb makes his head, red paints make his waddle, and straw makes his bed. Your handprint turned into the body of a turkey. Your fingers made the feathers, and your thumb made the face and the nose and the beak. It was so cute. You got to take it home. In wintertime, we got to talk about things and animals that live in the snow and snowman. It was so much fun to make a snowman. We learned about his parts, and then he wears a hat, he has a carrot nose, and you got to decorate your own snowman. First, you had to be careful. Hold a paintbrush and paint his hat black. Then make a face with his eyes, a carrot nose, and a smile. And then with all the glue on his tummy, you got to sprinkle all of this pretend snow on him. It was so much fun. You got to paint with white during this month. The color of the month was white. The shape was a star. And you got to build a snowman out of Crayola clay and make his body and roll it and make it and put a cute little face on him and take him home. It was really fun to make a snowman. Here's everybody else's. All different sizes. In February, the color of the month was pink, and the shape was a heart. So everybody got to paint a heart, and it was kind of fun. There's a new thing called a roll-on painter. And you just put it the different colors, and you get to roll it all over the heart like this. So much fun. But a different way to have to hold, like this. You had to use your hand a different way and your muscles. Everybody had a fun time painting their own heart. And then we had a party about our Jesus Loves Me party. In March, the color of the month was green. We began our study of animals, and these were pond animals that you got to decorate. You used a spool for painting all over the turtle, and then sprinkled on sand on top to give it texture. Let's see who made one. This is Eden's, Evie, Ireland, Charlotte, Ellie, Sienna, Shay, Joy, Ryder, the other pond animal were frogs. It was so much fun to be a frog and talk like a frog. And you made a face on the frog. It was so fun that you picked out a bug to put on his tongue, so that would be the one he would eat, and you got to pick it yourself. Look at all the different faces. Let's see who we've got. Phoenix's, Spencer, Parker, Avery, Nathan, Jace, Jerica, Talia, Max, and Delaney. So cute. Another thing we learned when we were doing frogs was singing 5 little speckled frogs sitting on a speckled log, eating some most delicious bugs. Yum, yum. You all got to dot paint during the year many different times to hold it, learn how to dab it, and make papers any way you want. And then, when we studied ocean animals, I gave you a pattern of a fish. You picked out the color of fish you wanted, you picked out the dot paints you wanted to use, and these are all the different beautiful fish that you made. You also got to pick out an octopus, and learning about an octopus that he has 8 legs. Can count those. I gave you Cheerios, and with your pincher fingers, again, you had to put the Cheerios on all of his legs and fill it in. You got to eat some of the ones that were broken, but we had a lot of fun. And so here's some of the octopus that you made. Next, we talked about pets in our animal units, and it was so fun to make the sound of dogs and kitty cats and birdies and pigs, and you got to make a kitty cat. Put the eyes on the way you wanted and which eyes you liked. You got to use neutral markers or neutral crayons and color it any way you wanted. We got to play in the playhouse with doctor kits and veterinarians to take care of the stuffed animals and the dogs and kitties we could feed with bowls. It was so much fun. You all loved it. We also talked about how to treat animals, that we need to be kind and gentle and not to hurt them when we pet them, but to do it very gentle and caring.
Wow, Miss Lori, you do some amazing things in this classroom with these children. They are really blessed to have you. Boys and girls, we miss you so much. Hearing all these crafts and hearing your names makes me miss you, miss your smiles, miss your hugs, miss your love. We love you, and we want you to remember that Jesus loves you too.
And I just appreciate you and how smart you are and the great job you did and all the fun things we did together. And I will think of you because you're so special. And I love you, and Jesus loves you too.